It's Monday, March 11. Here's what's making the news. In a statement today, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu called out opposition leader Bara Jagdeo for his attack against the president of the Guyana Press Association, Nazima Raghubir. The Prime Minister said journalists must be allowed to practice their profession without fear or harassment, and such action is not only gender persecution, but an attack on journalism and press freedom. Prime Minister Nagamutu said this type of intolerance has invariably led to the assassination of journalists and economic sanctions against media houses and must not be tolerated in Guyana. He offered his solidarity to the GPA president and her colleagues and expressed confidence that the government will not allow the intemperate attacks to muzzle journalists. More on this story can be found on our website. Over the weekend, Minister of Natural Resources Rafael Trotman visited workers on strike from the Russian bauxite company Rusal. During the visit, he urged that a resolution be met in the quickest possible time.
I did pay a visit to the workers, the Rusal workers who are at the Berbice River, striking or protesting. I thought it was important for me as Minister of Natural Resources to actually see the conditions. I have seen photographs sent to me by various residents of the community and by the company of the barricade across the river.
Minister of Natural Resources Rafael Trotman. The workers have blocked the Berbice River, preventing the company's barges from transporting bauxite. This began in mid-February, following the imposition of a unilateral 1% increase in wages by Rusal, along with other unaddressed issues, including the company's unwillingness to recognize the union as the workers' bargaining agent. Minister Trotman says he is aware that the Ministry of Social Protection has taken the lead on the matter and continues to give his support. However, as the Minister of Natural Resources, he believes it is his duty to meet and to hear from the workers, adding that the stalemate is not helping anyone.
So I continue to urge that both the company and the Ministry of Social Protection find a path forward. What we have is a stalemate. It is not helping anyone. It is hurting the company. It is hurting families. And of course, it is hurting the economy of Guyana. I don't believe that we can continue as we have been for too much longer. And in my personal view, which view I will share with Cabinet, or plenary as it is now referred to, is that if it is that the relationship is so fractured, perhaps it is time that we look elsewhere, where we can't have workers crying out like this. They're Guyanese, they're human beings. I met fathers, I met mothers, I met persons who haven't seen their families for over a month. And it is heart-rending, and I believe that something has to be done.
Minister Trotman says he supports the arbitration and would expect that Rusal would concede and accept that arbitration is the best way forward, so that government would not have to go to compulsory arbitration. He says, let's hope that good sense prevail. For InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
For 2018, GoInvest generated $89.4 billion in facilitated investments. It also secured $52.2 billion from 56 signed investment agreements across all sectors.
This was disclosed by Chief Executive Officer of GoInvest, Owen Verwey, on Monday during a press conference held at the Roraima Duke Lodge. He says this is part of the agency's vision to build investors' confidence and promote development opportunities to benefit all.
According to year-end performance indicators, based on investors' figures, these investments are expected to create 1,644 jobs when the projects are fully operational. These new jobs and associated trading opportunities will amplify Guyana's human resource capabilities across key sectors including agriculture, light manufacturing, tourism, forestry, services, and energy.
The CEO explained that of the 56 signed investments, 38 were local, 15 were foreign direct investments, and the remainder were joint ventures. VDI projects include manufacturing of precast concrete construction materials, cocoa peats from coconut shells, among others. This is set to create 1,056 jobs when fully operational.
The success of the agency's activities in 2018 was heavily based on the commitment to responsible management of funds in order to get maximum mileage from the current and capital subvention amounting to $218,750,000. This is the subvention that is given to the agency in 2018 by the Ministry of Finance. Strategic participation in trade and investment events in several nations and other key activities were based on best value considerations.
Verway says though the agency has experienced some shortfalls, it has significantly improved. Moving forward, the agency will place more emphasis on the approval process to ensure success. Neola Deman, InfoHub.
Women are being encouraged to use the information and communication technology to broaden their horizons. First Lady Sandra Granger issued the call at an International Women's Day concert and expo held over the weekend.
Let our cell phones and the internet become our tools to build bridges, to share information, to support and mentor our sisters. Through the cell phone and the internet, our girls and women can be encouraged to expand their knowledge and their horizons and push for gender parity in the upper levels of management in the office, the factory, and the field.
The First Lady said women use the opportunities presented to them to advance their development.
It is a given that women and girls drive development. Their equal access to training and participation in all facets of development translates into progress for all.
The International Women's Day concert and expo was facilitated by the Canadian High Commission and was hosted at the Everest Cricket Ground. The event attracted women of all ages. They were exposed to information on women and reproductive health, entrepreneurship, academic programs, among other meaningful information. Still to come, 188 million worth of cocaine and marijuana destroyed, and nearly 300 benefit from electricity in Andyville. Details and more when we return.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Welcome back. The Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit and the Guyana Police Force's Narcotics Branch on Saturday morning destroyed cocaine and marijuana worth $188 million.
The exercise was conducted at Yarrow Cabra on the Suzdijk-Linden Highway. The illegal substances destroyed on Saturday morning accounted for cases from 2013 to present that were successfully concluded in the courts.
Today, the police narcotic branch will be destroying 123 kilograms of cannabis and 74 kilograms of cocaine. These are drugs that would have reached its finality through the courts. Persons would have been the case would have been either dismissed or persons were convicted.
That was Senior Superintendent Corley Simon. Canu's Deputy Head Leslie Ramlal said the destination for the local cannabis was Barbados.
We're also seeing the importation of cannabis out of Jamaica. And of recent, looking at what is coming through the ports now with the legalization of cannabis in some developed countries, we're already seeing the importation of that into Guyana. Recently we had, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a seizure at La Parcan with cannabis coming from the United States. Last year we had a seizure with cannabis coming from Canada. So that is something that, as law enforcement, we now have to be aware of, and it certainly poses another challenge for Guyana and all law enforcement agencies.
The destruction of the illegal substances is the second such exercise being carried out by the law enforcement agencies in a short time. The last exercise was conducted in November 2018. During that assignment, over $513 million worth of cocaine and cannabis were destroyed. Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure is advising motorists and pedestrians that as the East Coast Road Widening Project continues, construction works are ongoing at several locations. Also, within the next 2 weeks, works are scheduled to begin at the new Monrepo Market tarmac. The speed limit through these construction zones is 20 kilometers per hour. The general public is therefore asked to exercise caution and to observe all traffic and safety signs. Additional details can be found on our website. For the first time in 20 years, nearly 300 residents of Andyville Region 10 have electricity. This follows a commitment made by the government of Guyana.
Elated and thankful are two of the words used by residents of Andyville to express their joy at receiving electricity for the first time after 20 years of failed attempts under the previous administration.
I give thanks for the mobilization of this electricity. I give thanks to the ministers that fund the money to make it happen, and all the officials, all the other ministers, and the regional chairman, all whoever support to us to get this done, I give thanks for. And it's great because it's a development for the community, the youths them today with the studies and these kind of things.
The community chairman, Michael Green, reflected on the struggle his community has endured as he encouraged residents to continue supporting each other.
Everybody coming and promising we and nothing is happening for we. And look at how much people live in this area. Look how much children going to school. This is just the beginning. And I want to give thanks to everyone who have created it.
Our budget for 2019 has been passed. In it for Region 10, I tell you, in it for Region 10, I have over $220 million worth of roads just for the Region 10 alone. Better yet, they've all gone out to tender already. We're not going to hand out money and those things like that. We want to empower you.
Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson. He highlighted plans to supply electricity to the neighboring community Prosville. There will be the commissioning of a bridge in Wakapau on March 15th and power plants in Anna Regina and Bartica. Coming to you from Andyville in the mining town of Linden with videographer Kareem Peters, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications, and subscribe to our website for more stories. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.